Ladies and gentlemen, we have a series on our hands. Welcome back to Game 3 between Machi Esports and Megabank Beyond Gaming, where Machi just found their first win against their opposition, the first time this split. Before we go deeper into the series, we of course have to thank our sponsors at CTBC Bank, China Airlines, Chunghwa Telecom, and Caliber. Now moving forward, tell me, Nightstar, did you expect ever for the bot lane of Machi to actually win the laning phase?
No, absolutely not. Immediate answer, there was no question in my mind that this was going to be straight up 20 CS at the very least, every single lane phase advantage for Doggo. And that lane phase was incredibly surprising from Koala and Atlan. So, credit goes to them. And also, Megabank Beyond Gaming, they're staying on the red side. I have a lot of questions about that one as well.
Okay, well, what are your reservations about red side? Like, I feel like in Game 1 and Game 2, in terms of the draft, it was okay. Like, I don't think the draft was okay, the reason that it was close or they lost at all, to be absolutely honest. So, what are the hidden dangers you see on red side?
Clement, you're forced to ban Viego on red side.
That is a very good point. I will give you that. Can we just global ban Viego? We're talking about League in 2022 is literally going to be Viego pentakill into Action penta revive. Like, that's actually going to be a thing next time around. And I'm just like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm going to have to cast this.
Can't wait. Anyways, but yeah, like, the Viego existing means that you have to throw attention onto that pick, and it means that you're already coming into the ban phase with one less ban. Unless if they also adjust and secure themselves the Ziggs, which Ziggs was left available, and they didn't go for the Ziggs pick, and
I'll be honest, I want to drop the Trundle. I feel like the Trundle ban's completely unnecessary. Like, the Trundle's great if the opponent has Ziggs, but if you're gonna ban the Ziggs, why do you need the Trundle? Why do you need to ban Trundle? I feel like Trundle's just like, whatever, you can have Trundle. I'm fine. That's my view on it, but we'll see what Beyond Gaming.
Yeah, for the most part, I think the Trundle pick is a great punish pick into people that just want to face check without any reason to face check. And sometimes Kino falls into that trap. So, you know what?
I'd be willing to ban Camille here. Like, whatever about the Trundle. I'd ban Ziggs or Camille. Probably Ziggs. That'd be my guess.
Ziggs,
but I'm not banning Trundle. Like, banning Trundle doesn't do anything.
They're really struggling.
What? They still ban Trundle?
Okay.
Okay. Did these guys just see what Gemini is doing on Lee Sin? Like,
I just think it's more directed towards Koala. Just because if Kino if he is going to take this Leona pick, the moment you go in on Leona, you're just instantly punished by the pillar just thrown up behind. It looks like they want to go ahead and first rotation this Camille. It's an arms race, or I guess it's a legs race now.
Camille Ziggs, let's go. That's my guess.
Watch them go Camille Lee Sin. They just said, you know what, we'll take your picks, and then it just dooms the rest of the draft. Ziggs makes infinitely more sense, but in context
of the matchup, Ziggs is far better. Look at Liang, he's smiling already. It's like, we got the two most crucial picks. It's over, boys. Wrap it up. We're going up. You can plan our strategies against PSG. Machi will have something to say about this. They're going to go on the Varus for a change. And at least this time, they're not locking in Lee Sin. 3 games in a row of Lee Sin's a little bit much for me. I think it's a little bit much for everyone. See what they go for this time around. Gemini, please curb your enthusiasm for the Lee Sin. You can pick it later. No one's going to ban it. Completely fine. See what they go for here. I will check in on the picks from Lee Kai, and it doesn't look like he has some great counters to Camille. He has gone with the set in the past, but doesn't have only one game of Fiora, so we'll see what he does here.
I would consider taking away the Leona at this point, just because Leona Ziggs is really strong. But you know what? We're not gonna pick it second.
Kino
pick,
on Leona
Clement.
today.
We're gonna pick
okay.
it third.
It's okay. Yeah, I actually
yeah.
do not mind at all.
Yeah.
Kino's not on point today. Kino was probably bronze medalist today. Just saying.
Nautilus is also a
locked
pick
in.
that you can look really foolish on as well. Similar to the Leona. If you land the hook and you take it all the way in, ooh, sometimes you're in a place
Hey, I'll
that
take
you
a depth
don't
charge
wanna
over
be.
Solar Flare.
That is true.
True.
Point and click. Alright, Fiora taken off the board
Do you have the
here in
Fiora
the second
ban?
phase. Yeah. And for the side of Machi, I would assume that they direct a couple bans towards Mal'an, take away some more aggressive picks, perhaps. The Irelia is a really good fit here because you have the aggressive play coming in from Volibear, combined with the Irelia, a lot of kill threat in that spot, and just the fact that you have Ziggs means you can go for a full AD top half. Or they could just also fall back towards the Lucian pick, which did well, but again, it was into a TF who doesn't really pose much of a threat in lane.
Yeah, the dynamic is quite different between the Lucian and the Rise. Still a strong pick, but Rise has a lot more chances of fighting back with the Rune Prison. We'll see what the last ban is coming out from Machi Esports side. Taking away the Syndra. Looks like they're taking away tempo picks in the mid lane. Mon has played Aurelia, but it wasn't a performance to write home about. So they're going to leave that open. As you mentioned, they could go for it again because they had that AD-AP split here. Should be at least could be support here. I don't mind going for a support hit pick. It's going to be the Rakan. Okay.
Rakan Ziggs, a very good scaling bottom lane. It could potentially be a bit rough in the early phases. And for Machi, the Leona, a solid answer to the Rakan. Koala hovering this Bard pick. And it's a decent answer to Ziggs because you're able to actually catch him out. However, I'm not sure. It's a solid 2v2. And I mean, putting Atlan Koala, I guess they have a little bit more faith, a little more belief. And I'm willing to run with it.
Right, and we do have the set coming in as the favored counter to the Camille. It's what we've seen from Lee Kai in the past. We'll see how this Bard does, but typically Bard needs to leave lane to be able to be effective. So we'll keep close attention on that if he's able to actually roam. Beyond Gaming, think about Silas for Mal'an into the Rise matchup. A lot of hard crowd control, can't easily catch up to him. And Megabank Beyond Gaming now going for more of a pick composition themselves.
Yeah, a slight pivot here coming in from Megabank Beyond Gaming. They've gone for more of that 1-3-1 pick style of composition. Very strong top half of the map and very much a farm and out style in this bottom side. It feels like the positions have been reversed here. As Machi, they're the ones with a little bit more focus towards that bottom half of the map. You have Lee Kai on this set who, if he gets going, definitely can pose a threat, but mostly looking to scale up for those team fights and just have those big impact showstoppers over the Camille.
Yeah, very different drafts this time around coming in. I would say neither side has a distinctive advantage in terms of like 1-3-1 because they both have one lane that should win out against the other. Like Silas should beat Rise, but Set should have an easy time against Camille, at least for like the first half of the game. So, I think like it feels like a very execution heavy game for me. Like both have scaling, both have burst damage. I'd say Teamfight's still a bit stronger for Megabank Beyond Gaming in general. Especially because of that Bard. I'm not a Bard fan, to be completely honest. I feel very like unless your name is Lumo, I'm telling you not to pick Bard, but we'll see.
Kaiwing?
We'll see.
Kaiwing Bard. It can also just be the difference in our PCS support. So you know,
I will
he
say
gets a lot of
this.
free advantages.
I feel like even on Kaiwing, he's probably still better on Leon. Heartfelt opinion.
Okay.
But we'll find out maybe later into the series if that Bard is going to come out again. Very interesting champion here. But the team fight performance can be very hit or miss coming in from Koala's Bard.
Yep.
No level 1 shenanigans so far. Looking at this.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, when you talk about team fight damage, it is going to be in favor for Beyond Gaming, just because on the one hand you've got a Varus and Rise, while Rise is able to pump out pretty good damage.
Oh, Liang is tagged by the Sonic Wave.
Throws Liakai Flash though. No. Okay. So it's just some poke damage. Liang has to go for a recall. They get a little bit more ground gained on that top half of the map that they can go ahead and ward aggressively. But Doggo on the Ziggs, like, he's gonna just pump infinitely more damage than both probably the Rise and the Varus. And unless if Alan's able to consistently have his team set up around these objectives early on, it's going to be difficult for him to land a lot of that poke. And of course, again, not a ton of frontline from Machi. Yes, I would say that's probably a better frontline champ than what they had in the previous game, but it's not much better.
I'll be honest though, I don't think kids these days actually know what a tank is. Like they've just never seen one. It's like, oh, I know Divine Sunder, but what is it?
Yeah, that's why we haven't seen PK.
That is true. That's very unfortunate for him. The Take Man is just put in the freezer. Take a look at Koala. Sometimes these bards can just level up very unexpectedly. Not going to be the case here. Not sure how many chimes he actually got earlier on. In the meantime, top lane, we do expect this. Sets, it's very difficult to lane against a set early on. So you will get right away here. So will Jimin.
A lot of trade power coming in from Set, especially with that early regen along with the shielding from Haymaker. For Liang, he'll just have to kind of take it for the time being. And really all these lanes are just going to take it early on. Not a whole lot of pushing power, and that means Gemini can go
will
for
find
this
Husha in his own jungle, but misses the Q1. There is going to be a smite fight here. Both of them do have the smites down. Rise is coming in. Let's be careful about Husha, and Rud buff is secured. Coming in from Gemini, they force out the flash onto Husha. Mawan trying to get out of the situation, but he has to flash as well. Massive lead on the top side. Now Liang has to run away. He's trying to come and help, but just gets found immediately. Misses the hook shot. And where is he gonna go here? He's just gonna die. He even flashes? Whoa. What? Are you okay, Liang? What do you think is happening there? Explain it to me.
Send the man some help. You know,
that was a flash of shame.
Yeah, there is absolutely no words to explain that play. Because he ends up pathing down from top lane, doesn't have, ends up losing a lot of minions as well.
We do have a gank here though. Gank Beyond Gaming could find something back here. Koala's gonna get stunned up and stopped during the magical journey here. Doggo with a great satchel charge. Poor Bard is going back to the Cosmos here and he just gets blown up. We'll watch this play again, and I'm keeping close attention on Liang's rotation. See what happens here.
What's Liang up to? He just walks up, alright, loses a wave and a half. And he's just on a journey. He is on a journey. Absolutely.
That was
with
less
that
than magical, though.
Yeah. That's what we call adventure time.
What was that, Liang? What the? I have no words. I do not know what the hell it was.
That again.
Yep. He is dead again. You are.
Yeah. Even if Lee
Has
Kai
not
managed
been a
to
great
die
day for
to
Leo.
Kino afterwards, was still doomed, and now Kino's by himself.
Kino might be dead too. Does tag Lee Kai, but Lee Kai does not take aggro. Gemini gonna miss on the ability of Koala. Why did Koala take
Clement, are you gonna cue the music or should I?
I want to calm down. You can sing the track. I trust you with it. Okay. Doggo.
We've got a game
has
3
2
on our
kills.
hands. Malan's about to get a 1v1 kill, I think.
True. Fusha's also here. I'm not sure about the TP, man. Bard's gonna come in. Atlan dies to the Sky Splitter, and the Lee Kai trying to find something back. Fusha has no flash.
Malan's in trouble.
Oh, the Cosmic Binding does land through the minion wave, but Kino's here. So it ends up being a 1-for-1. I think things are starting to calm down just a little bit right here. They should. How did Doggo have 2 kills? I don't... Am I forgetting something?
It was that bot play where he got stuck on the magical journey.
That's 1.
And then, and then the kill that just happened topside.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're rotating.
Yeah.
A lot of movements early on. My bad. This play was actually okay.
This bot
play was okay.
Yeah, Lee Kai comes in with the set. Of course, set early on just has that much better trading power. So while it looked like a poor position to teleport, it actually pays off because of the follow-up coming in from Bard. And it ends up being a 1-for-1 trade in that regard. And Machi now, ever so slight gold advantage. Mega Bank Beyond Gaming. This is still sort of a composition you'd like to get into a 1-3-1 spot. You'd like to have your solo lanes ahead, but currently not exactly in the best of spots. Yes, Doggo can just carry this entire team on his back on this Ziggs pick. We've seen Unified do it before. But the rest of the team does need to sort of stabilize.
Yeah, Leon's not having a great time after Alika is picking up those 2 kills already. He's able to control the wave however he wants to at this point. I do want to mention that Machi, in terms of their power spikes, they have a much stronger just like break fight early on. Like 1 mythic item break fight should be what they're going for, and especially with this set this far ahead, it kind of reminds me of Kanji on this champion. Could look a lot like it.
Where he's just able to one-shot backline. But when the other team has 4 melee champions, you also just get so much value because you don't ever have to force yourself into the backline. Especially early on against the Ziggs. Yes, he's got a lot of range, but the power isn't quite there until he hits those 3 items. That's when things get really scary. So Lee Kai is going to get infinite value out of this Gore Drinker. He's going to fall down to like 30% HP, pop the Haymaker, pop the Gore Drinker, do 1,001k damage with the Haymaker, and heal all the way back up to 100% HP.
Yeah, very possible that that will be the case here. Gemini going to pick up the Herald. Beyond Gaming actually had the numbers advantage for a while, but thinking about their situation, they're not really willing to chance it. G-Man now up to a pretty good CS lead here compared to Mawan, and the top lane, as we mentioned, is very far ahead. So not much they can do without Doggo participating in that topside fight. We'll see where this Herald does go down. I think both of us are kind of thinking that top lane, maybe just keep Leon down again. That seems to be the strategy for now. Bushak going to come in, does flash for the stun. Mawan lands a second tag, Stormbringer comes down, G-Man just dies. Nothing he can do on that one, even with the flash. He's going to go down. Beyond Gaming find themselves back on the board.
A really good pick there, of course. Whenever you have the Vol there, you just have the license to dive. And that's exactly what happens here. Good chains land from Mawan as well to really ensure that kill is able to be forced under tower. And at the very least, Mega Bank Beyond Gaming find themselves a pick. Still behind in gold, but it helps out this mid lane matchup a lot. And the fact that Maoan does have now 2 assists to help in his goal situation.
You do have Husha potentially setting up a bait here, trying to get Li Kai to overextend, but Li Kai is actually just going to try to take Liang right outside of tower. Liang goes it back in once more, but Husha is coming, and so is Kino. Machi decide not to test their luck here. They do have the question mark pings, and the TP coming through. In the meantime, Doggo does have to leave his own lane for now. He's trying to do a battle with Krugs at this point. And Jimia now charging towards the bottom side of the map. Let's see if Doggo can survive this one.
They want the dive.
Here comes the Realm Warp. And the Satchel Charge. Chains of Corruption does land. Doggo down to half HP. Runes of Prison lands as well. Doggo can flash away. Nearly gets the fight back. And the minion wave is not in position. He TP's out.
TP'd out. Alright.
Why not go to base though?
Yeah.
I think you just wasted 8 seconds, but hey, you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah.
As we do have a 3-man this time around for Beyond Gaming. Quickness comes in. Can they take down? Oh, Li Kai still gets the W, but he will fall. There's not much that this bar can actually do. Okay.
Okay, it's going to be a tower trade here. They will be able to secure bot tower. More gold into Atlan's pocket. And that should be the completed man immune. But yeah,
Gemini gonna try and force his way on Doggo. Don't think it's gonna work.
Yeah, the issue with Bard is he's really great when there are fragile backlines, but that's not exactly the case here. There's a lot of melee champions, and even if you do lock them down with the Tempered Fate, they have so much health pool that you're okay with taking that first cycle of cooldowns from the side of Machi.
You're gonna see Leon chase Jimian down here. Does have Silas on the wing to help him. Gets the slow plus the Hextech ultimatum. No trade back potential for Machi. And Jimian's just a goner like that one. We are gonna get Machi's first starting up on the Drake. But it's 12 minutes into the game, and I feel like Beyond Gaming are pretty happy giving that one away.
Yep. It is pretty late in the game to go ahead and secure that first drain. It does mean Dragon Soul is going to be fairly late as well. We're going to have Ocean or Mountain here. I think Mountain is fantastic for all of these melee champions, especially the deal with some of that Ziggs poke. And the Ocean will also assist in just the back and forth poke, adding that extra regen to deal with that. And I would say Ocean's probably better for BYG to help mitigate some of the rise damage as well. And for Machi, I would say it's the Mountain Dragon that would benefit the most.
Yeah, I could see Mountain being much more helpful. Though, honestly, Beyond Gaming, they're just kind of playing for scaling across the board. I think all three of their champions have a little bit more potential. So far, we haven't really seen what Koala can do on this bar pick. I've been pretty underimpressed, to be honest. So we'll see if he can get a good Temper Fate.
Yeah, it's 13 minutes in, and he's tossed out one Tempered Fate. That's probably not the rate you're looking for here. And he's maybe had 3.
Gemini does find the steal, and now Maoan is in danger. He is going to flash away, but the Realm Warp is coming down. Cosmic Binding lands a slow do tag. And Machi get a kill just like that. Opening on the mid lane tower.
Still
and
kick available.
The top. Yeah, Dragon's Rage definitely still there. This could be a good chance to think about Tempered's fate in this situation. There's only a 2-man defense squad. But we will see Machi try to defend top lane instead. I would like to see some more aggressive plays. Like, with the set this far ahead, you can actually just pull the trigger on that.
Yeah, basically in the Temper Fate, you have in your hands the license to dive, similar to what Volibear ult brings to the table. They just haven't coordinated themselves, which leads me to think that they just aren't practiced on this pick. Koala saw it in opening and said, hey, I think this is a good Bard position. And they were just like, okay, we trust you. And unfortunately, they've never practiced it in scripts or something, because it is just looking really, really flat.
Yeah, we have seen Koala play Bard all the way back to his G-Rex days, and I still have some fond memories of it working out, but, you know, it hasn't happened this game. It's not a terrible idea. Like, you are on a snowball early objective team fighting composition, so the damage isn't really that important. It's just much more about the patch. We'll see if he can get a good one here as Husha is sounding the alarms, trying to get the Herald. Not going to find it just yet. Husha gets already in that Husha dies and allows Gemini to go directly back. Mawa is now trying to find a way Lee Kai, but he stays alive with the extra healing. Now the target is turning down onto Gemini. He stays alive, gets the Gorge Trooper proc onto 2. Mawan finally going to find a shutdown right here. But at what cost is the question as Kito goes down on the side. Liang, though, chasing through. And finally, we get the TP onto the
here now.
Coming back into the fight. Facebreaker goes down, and goodbye, Dago. Another shutdown being handed over to Machi. Herald secured, and the mid lane is wide open.
And Machi are able to find yet another win here. This time it's around the Herald, and they get a big team fight. Part of that just comes out of the fact that it's just so darn split. It's Liang on the flank trying to find purchase, but a great space gained by Lee Kai. He keeps Dago occupied. They're able to finish off Husha in the meantime. And on the flip side, Liang, he tries to go in. Unfortunately, he can't get in because he is zoned off by Genian, so he has to take an alternative path. He's so late to this fight, and even though Koala himself was pretty late to this fight and had a pretty poor tempered fate, it doesn't matter, as he's able to chase down with the rest of his squad.
Let's get the flash from Liang, just with the tempered fate, so... Yeah, we didn't see it on screen, but it got a little bit done. I'll give him that. On the flip side, very close fight. I felt like Mawan would have been able to clean that up if it wasn't for okay, now that was just sad. No words right there. That was just kind of sad.
Oh Lord, that was a Bard ultimate there. And now Dragon is up and available. Of course, it is the Cloud.
Oh, again, Husha's just gonna die! The smite is gone! And Machi are on the chase here! Trying to take the lead in the ceiling. Gemini finding it very difficult to survive as Moan gives him the kick.
Is pretty low.
Yeah. Atlin has to back out as well, just like you mentioned, and we have Mawan flashing in against Jimian. It was the kill onto the jungler, but it was traded right back, and now Liang, with his extra HP bar, they do find the inside track onto this Drake. Alan's gonna have to land a lot of poke to make this one work, but it doesn't look like Machi want to back off here.
Jimian does have teleport. He's looking for that. He's just coming straight back into the mid lane, so taking a very safe angle here. And now Husha, he's now respawned. He's now walking back.
Round 2.
He will be here in time, and it should be round 2.
Here we go again. This time Machi does have ramp coverage, so it should be easy for them to seal off one side. Chains of Corruption still not up. The only big ultimate is the Hextech Ultimatum and the Stormbringer, so a bit of advantage there on Beyond Gaming side. Let's see if they can make a play with it. Hookshot goes in, Stormbringer onto the back line. They find Likai, but it's not enough. Jimian goes down instantly. Atlan still on the side trying to deal damage, but Likai is going to die. Beyond Gaming, they roar back into the team fight. Chains of Corruption from Mawan. He's still surviving.
Oh, tempered
on the 2, but that is going to allow Gemini to chase down the rest of the squad right there. Kino still 1 HP away from death. Gemini pops the Q1. Does he take the Q2 in? That's a risky Lee Syndrome play if I've ever seen one. He doesn't take it, preserves the smite, and throughout the bloodshed, Machi finally gets the Drake.
Oh man, that was a razor's edge of a fight. We're headed straight into that replay. As you're gonna see Koala out on the side, he keeps Doggo occupied for most of this fight here. Because of that, it's just a 4v4 and it's just so back and forth. Of course, you have these brawlers on the side of Mega Bank Beyond Gaming. This is exactly where they want to fight, but at the same time, you have a Set who also loves these close quarter combat fights. And then finally, Doggo is able to get back here. And unfortunately, though, the fight's pretty much done at that time. At the back end, though, as you mentioned earlier, Machi will capitalize and get themselves that Cloud Dragon. So it will be Mountain on the table here. Extra choke points to try and really fight through. So these objective setups, even more difficult.
Did you see that heal at the end from Atlan? That was pretty funny. Like, Atlan actually had more Lee syndrome than the Lee Sin himself. He's like, hey, I'll give you the speed up. Go find the angle. It's from the right side.
Get him!
And Gemini's like, no thanks. They just burned the heal like that. That was pretty funny.
Atlan's feeling it this series. He had a brilliant game 2, and now game 3. He's 2-1-5. He's not doing too shabby himself. Now Koala will be able to walk out.
Dodge out. Beautiful walk back from them, and I have to give kudos to Koala. That was actually a pretty good tempered fate.
Yeah. He got it off of cooldown just in time, and he nails the 2-man temper fate, really to stem a lot of follow-up damage coming in from Doggo. But as well, Doggo didn't have his own ultimate for that fight, which limited his effectiveness in the dragon. And now, though, all the ultimates are up and available, and we'll see what kind of catch either of these teams can try and fish here.
Pino's gonna go in, but gonna get tagged out by the Everfrost. In comes another hit squad against Jimmy, and Jimmy once again just dies out of nowhere, and Gemini might follow as well. Hexac Ultimatum goes down. Leak Guy, the only one left to really salvage this team fight, but he dodges out. Doggo gonna die. Temper Fate goes down. Atlan trying to find the backline, not gonna do it, and Mawan again goes over the wall, hits another abduct, takes the magical journey. Probably a step too far here.
Everyone's here.
The flashes come out. Atlan's still trying to kite this one as far as possible. They get the trade down, but Koala has nowhere to go. He has to flash over the wall, and Beyond Gaming with another beautiful team fight. Razor focus on Jamian.
They get the insta burst down onto Jamian, and that actually makes so much of a difference given how close this fight was. It ends up being 4 for 3. And because they're able to instantly blow him up, get Gemini incredibly low, it means Likai, he has so much to do on his own. And what do you know? He was actually able to do a lot by himself. It's a massive haymaker along with the ultimate, and then really nice kiting coming in from Atlan and Koala to get what they could in that situation. And the Bard showing a little bit of value, not quite the big impactful tempered fate plays, but rather more of a sort of thresh role where he puts the magical journey just to get Atlan out of these situations.
Gotta be honest, Bard is the reason I hate going through tunnels. You never know what comes out on the other side, and it's usually not good. So we'll see if Beyond Gaming can get that small lead. We talked about their scaling composition. They're within 1,000 gold. The real big difference here is just the Drake objective. So if they can get one Drake, I think they're fine. Their game plan is still on route, on schedule. On the other side, Machi, I feel like even though they found small skirmish wins, they have not gotten the decisive team fights they actually need. We're talking about, you know, 5-man, tempered fey, into massive, haymaker, showstopper, chains of corruption, all that good stuff. It hasn't happened yet. Beyond Gaming has been keeping them on their toes, and once again, we have another engage. This time, Pino going in. Mega Infernal Bomb only lands onto 1. Chains of Corruption on the other side is going to attack 3. Pusha has to pop the ultimate just to get out, and Temper Fate is going in. Showstopper being used. Facebreaker onto 2. Maon is in a little bit of trouble as he gets into Showstopper of his own. Liang still alive here, trying to get something back, but he will fall before the stun. Maon dodges out narrowly on the arrow. And unfortunately for Beyond Gaming, they don't really find the trade that they want. A 2 for 3, slight favor for Machi once more.
They try and immediately go for the pick onto Gemini, but immediately gets turned around. Solid Temper Fate, at the very least, zones off the side of Megabank Beyond Gaming, and Maoan with the Showstopper stolen away, able to get the big turnaround. However, Liang still not having a good game.
We could have a potential steal by Doggo. Oh, what? Does find the Drake. That was well worth the kill. As not
but
sure
now
about
the teleport.
TP. Leon coming in, but his team's already going the other direction. And yeah, they back out instantly. Great hero play from Maoan, saving Machi from achieving the soul point here, and it will be a Mountain Soul. This game, we have mentioned that before. But worthy sacrifice. I'll give that a C on the teleport afterwards, though.
Yeah, definitely a low score on the teleport. Liang 347 hasn't had the best of times in this series, even in this game. Found pretty low impact. However, his team's still in prime position to hit all their scaling points. And over on the flip side for Machi, it's not that bad. It's not super doom and gloom. But these fights are going to start getting harder and harder. Lee Kai going for a more team fight centric build with the Sterix Gauge, just to try and stay in these fights as long as possible. Do have the Eclipse with the Muramana transformation. Once Sorello's Grudge comes through, I think that's really Machi's big power spike here, and being able to catch people out a lot more readily as we do see it completed. And over on the side of BYG, like, it comes down to Doggo getting that 4th item here with 3 items because of how much utility is packed in the Zanyas and the Morello. He's not packing as much of a punch as you would expect from a 3-item Ziggs.
Yeah, there is a lot of utility on his build for sure. He's not going for the Horizon focus like we see on some more damage-oriented Ziggs. But I think it's a fair build. There's a lot more safety coming into it. There's HP, there's armor.
Look at Wuxiao's build. He's gone for the Zanyas. He's going for the Wizard Bear. He's
That's actually a decent build. He scales really well with AP on Volibear. So I don't dislike this build whatsoever. We finally have the engage from Machi. They find Chains of Corruption, but
not bad.
Just ultimates disengaged. Yeah, they will be able to try this very quickly again. Atlan on that lethality build does have a lot of cooldown reduction, so it's not going to hurt as much. It's not really a pure lethality build, but still a ton of ability haste in that one.
Yeah, and the big thing is the fact that Wuxia doesn't have his ultimate available, can't get around these walls as readily, so he'll have to expend Flash if he's looking for those big plays. Thankfully, though, they've got
going on half HP. This just could be the go button from Beyond Gaming. Indeed, Kino is going to pop the Shrilla's Reverie
very soon.
But they don't fully commit to the chase, as Machi do get out into Fog of War. Beyond Gaming now have the inside track on the Baron. With full HP bars, they could just start this one up. Or make a pick.
Healthy. Or go back.
That was actually a pretty nice play from Doggo, just trying to fake that they were actually doing it by aggroing the Baron, but nothing comes of it. Machi do not face check this. It is late into the game where teams can really start to chunk through this objective and okay.
Checking in from long range.
Somewhat necessary.
I mean, Atlan had blue trinket.
Scryer, though. I felt like I would have used the Scryer. Yeah. I guess Scryer is more important than Tempered Fate. If that makes any sense. It's low cooldown, whatever.
You know what, Clement? Koala hasn't exactly hit the best Tempered Fates, so, at least he's using it.
Maybe they're just giving Baron kind of a makeover. Golden Baron's pretty cool. Like, I heard Baron likes his bling, so not all too bad with that one. Beyond Gaming are setting up for the next Drake coming up in 20 seconds. Yeah, if I'm the biggest creature. Koala will run into Maoan, gets the slowdown. Everfrost now onto Maoan, but Lee Kai looks like the one, and he's about to go down. Does survive for a while. Showstopper onto Kino. They do find the first kill on the target. Doggo is locked out by the Tempered Fate. Husha about to die. And the flash-in doesn't work. In comes Liang. They find the double crowd control onto Jimia, but he gets the stasis just in time. Can Mao power his way through this one? Does find the kills and comes back for the execute. Machi find the first two, but Beyond Gaming with Mohan at the helm, they clean the team fight up.
It comes to Mohan and Doggo, and 30 minutes into the game, you do have a Ziggs. They're going to try and end it straight up here. They're going to instantly blow up that first turret. They still have plenty of structures to try and fight through, however. And I think they've done it.
I think they have done it as well. Still at least 15 seconds here. Gemini's not going to res in time. The base is in tatters. The Nexus is open. And Beyond Gaming are on their way to closing out this series. Now 2 wins over Machi with only 1 on the opponent's side. They got to the late game. They got to their power spikes. And we saw what Silas and Camille can do in the later half of the game.
I think the secret of success here, we're about to see Camille priority in this series. As even though Liang didn't have a great performance on that pick, harken to the start of the game, we're going to see the replay. It's very back and forth, big cooldowns. Kino gets instantly picked out, and at that point, it feels like it was just going to be doomed, especially after the ultimate coming in. The Tempered Fate nailing down Doggo, removing a lot of the damage, but then the re-engage comes in from Bao'an. He's able to stay up in this fight for such a long time, and the damage just being pumped out when the Ziggs is just not being focused. It's unreal, and Doggo able to help finish the job.
That Hextech ultimatum was so impressive coming out from Liang. It almost made me forgot about the entire first half of the game. Like, he was able to interrupt the Q2 coming in from Gemini. He was able to push everyone back. And at the end, we saw Atlan actually flashing over the wall to try and save that team fight. Very unfortunate decision from here. Probably should have tried to run away, but yeah, that's game 2 in the books. Machi with a great brawling start, but it wasn't enough to overcome the scaling for Megabank Beyond Gaming, and that just seems to be the storyline so far. BYG, they've got more different archetypes to play. They've got more different compositions that they can draft, while Machi are pretty much stuck in their ways.
Yeah, it does seem like they're a little bit funneled with their options. However, like, in game 1, it was the Viego pick. In game 3, it was the Ziggs pick. You just can't allow such terrifying meta picks to go through willy-nilly without getting trades on the flip side. And the Rise, while it is a very good mid lane pick, just isn't that S tier champ that you're looking for.
I wonder if we are going to see a LeBlanc happening sometime soon. That has been typically banned away, but we saw in the game 2 draft that, you know, Beyond Gaming actually have other priorities in the Trundle, in the Viego. So I think Jimian could be going back to something more like Assassins, because I just don't see Machi winning a late game scenario. I honestly don't. I feel like Machi are not going to be coming out ahead in terms of a scaling war. So should be early tempo, should be maintaining their momentum, becoming their strategy actually.
Maintaining tempo still a difficult task for Machi, as they've shown signs of life in this game, but even with a 2,000 gold lead, they weren't able to force their advantages hard enough to really leverage that to grow into something like a Baron buff, and the game ends up ending before one Baron does come off the board. So we're gonna see damage numbers here. I mean, Ziggs, Varus, this is just really the highlight of this meta. Long-range champions that can contribute, but Ziggs is just a cut above.
Yeah, like, if you look at the entire Megabank Beyond Gaming squad, it's unstoppable engage plus a very long-range hyper carry. Like, it's so hard to fight through that one. Mawan is going to be your MVP of the game. Great stuff being accomplished in the last team fight. Zigzagging in and out, getting those clean slayers in crucial moments. Keeps himself alive and forwards his team. 9 kills, 9 assists, 78% kill participation.
Really big performance coming in from the mid laner from Mega Bank Beyond Gaming. We had a lot of questions about him coming into this second split, summer split, just being able to level up his game and contest some of these more assassin focused players like G-Man, who we would say has a higher skill ceiling, but certainly showcasing his own ability here so far in this series.
Yep, so far the Machi rock has now been cracked. They always draft Camille Lee Sin. If you only leave them with half the rock, it doesn't make much noise. So we'll see if Machi can come back into the series and take us to silver scrapes in Game 4.